Once again, let me apologize for any background noise. It's not too bad this morning, but it's early, so that's good. So let's reel things back into the present, including the past 7 years, but basically into the present. Understand a couple of things. We live in America. We do not do witch hunts. We do not do fishing expeditions. These are all terms for what the hell is going on right now with me and using other Americans. What it is I'm trying to say is, what I've been saying is that they've been building a false narrative and exaggerating it. It's, you can think of basic concepts like why gossip is bad. Now, we knew that before social media existed, but now it seems like the police and news agencies want to use these kind of gossip dynamo machines as sources of information, like factual information. We already know that that doesn't work. We knew it didn't work before social media existed. We always knew that gossip is a bad thing. It creates exaggerations. It misrepresents an individual. It can misrepresent an individual to the point that it's not even them. And let me tell you something. For the people that are involved in my situation, they are so confused about what they're being told by authorities and by the person that they meet. They think that I am the devil. A lot of these people are religious zealots. They actually think that I am the devil himself. It's not a joke. It's not anything I'm like bragging about. I'm not proud of any of this. It's absolutely amazing. There's a couple of concepts here, right? Guilty until proven, innocent until proven guilty. Innocence until proven guilty. Is that what it is? What some other concepts? The one that I'm trying to raise with you here is this, is that they have told people that I'm absolutely a monster, that I'm dangerous, but yet they moved me. I've been in how many houses now? At least three different locations. These are locations that I am being placed in. They are not accidental. They are not random. I'm being placed in these houses with children. In one situation, the Taylor incident, they actually left me with her for half an hour. I sat out on the porch the whole time, man. I don't know what the hell is going on because, I already know what's going on. By the third day, I knew what was going on. So at that point, I'm just gaining intelligence, knowledge, trying to figure out what it is exactly that they're doing, trying to figure out if I can get to these people in a way to let them know, hey, you're involved in something that is really un-American, and it's supposed to be illegal. We don't do fishing expeditions, we don't do witch hunts. But here's my main point. If I am so fucking dangerous and I have done all of these crazy, most unbelievable crimes, why the fuck am I not in fucking jail? Now, don't get me wrong, I got things I gotta take care of. There's things, I got serious responsibilities. I understand that, so understand me. There's things that I have done, nothing like what they're saying. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you everything. I can't. It's important for my case, if you want to call it, however you want to see that, to be able to, I'm going to take responsibility for what I've done. I'm not going to take responsibility for what was created. Why would I? Why would any American? Forget about that. But there are things that I have done. Now, having said that, 7 years of basically extrajudicial torture and constant surveillance and constant, it's like I'm in a prison even though I'm not, because I'm consistently being kept tabs on by individuals in the community who think that I am a monster. But if I have done all of these terrible things that they're telling you I'm doing, why am I not in jail? Why is it that they're using you, regular Americans, to act against me if I am so bad? Understand, there are things that I cannot take care of from Santa Cruz, people that I need to take care of, companies that I need to take care of, that I cannot take care of, because how can I when they purposely move me out of Santa Cruz? They purposely will not let me get a job. I'll talk about all those things in separate, some of the things I can't talk about. I gotta talk with a lawyer about, because some of this stuff is so serious. It's unbelievable. But what they've done is they've built off of the false narrative campaign from my parents. They use that as an impetus to get people to hate me completely, to listen to their bullshit. And then they tell people stuff that's absolutely outlandish, like I am some sort of a child predator. But hey, would you be okay with letting him stay here with you, with your child, while we observe him? That's some psycho stuff. That shouldn't be happening in America. And then when Taylor comes out acting like she's a stripper and she's a 6-year-old girl, what kind of effect does that have on her long term? These adults that I'm that are dealing with this stuff, what kind of effect does it have on them? I care about most of these people. Even though some of them were torturing me, I care about them. I know what they're doing. I know why they're torturing me. It's not as torturous for me, not just because of McCain and my alcohol consumption, is because I know what they're doing. I know that the hysteria, I've done the research. I can understand. No Stanley Milgram to understand how you can get just anybody to do really terrible things to somebody, as long as somebody in a position of authority telling them it's okay that they're doing that. We've got your back. You can attack him and say whatever you want. We're going to keep you safe. He is a monster. Well, if I'm a monster, why the fuck am I not in jail and prison? Okay? Things in Santa Cruz are left the way they were on purpose. Not because I don't want to pay anybody, not because I don't care about them people. And to be clear, there's one person especially that I am very, very regretful that I had to leave in the way that I did, and I couldn't help. At the same time, sorry about the noise. At the same time, this person most definitely knew that there was a campaign against me. He knew that he had a responsibility of having, in a sense, become a slight partner with me, that he was making an investment, and he wasn't telling me that this campaign was occurring. This has been a very, very strong theme with this campaign at this point, is act against him, don't tell him what it's about, because this is the kind of pressure that's going to create what they call leakage. That's fucking bullshit. Not when you're dealing with somebody like me. You got to remember, before the fire, when my business was being destroyed, when my house was being burglarized, I could see that there was somebody around me, or a few people, I didn't realize it was everybody, that were acting against me. So, although I fucking hate lying and shit like that, if you're gonna fuck with my business, well, I'm gonna get down and dirty. Like I said, there are times where it seems like I had made deals with some of these people, or at least had very strong, open conversations with them. That's not because I wanted to do deals with these people. That's because I'm trying to figure out where the energy is coming from that's creating these holes in my life. Like these bombs and explosion, boom, boom, destroying my reputation, taking away my customers. When I say taking away, like, I see people that I did really close business with, and they were just disgusted, and they wouldn't talk to me at all. I'm like, okay, I can't force these people to talk to me. Not just that, I need to focus about doing business with good people. They're not bad, but I'm not going to give them trouble. I'm not going to be like, why the fuck won't you do business with me? Fuck all that. If they don't want to do business with me, it's a free market economy. That's fine. I'll just walk away. I mean, I would like to know why they are so vitriolically upset with me. But if they're that upset and I did something, well, I'm just going to walk away. I had no clue that it was a background campaign, but that's what I'm trying to bring to light here. If you're being asked in your community to act against a neighbor or somebody else, even if you think they're doing something, don't do it. I mean, do your own recording, do your own documenting. But if it's under the authority, and if you're being given special privileges of certain technologies, don't fall for that shit. Not only that, when you do that, when you become part of... That's really loud. I'm sorry. But most importantly, when you become complicit with them, and they know that you can work with them in this regard, you're opening yourself up to them doing that shit to you. Well, you know how it works, right? Well, what did you think? You think we're going to use this on you? You think do you think that these people are... I know they're law enforcement. I know they're church groups. Do you think they really have those kind of scruples? They're getting you to do terrible work for them. You're not exposing a damn thing. If any of you that have been working with them know, you're like, no, yes, we know. We were scratching our heads the whole time. When it came to Jody Graff and Mike Graff in Craig, Colorado, not Mac, I could see them like triple blink. And then they had to go off to lunch or something, and they're going and meeting the handlers that are handling them and giving them information. And each time it happens, they escalate whatever the story is, because these people become more and more increasingly angry, and you can see they become delusional, or disillusioned might be a better word, not delusional, disillusioned to believe that I am a magical criminal, that I am the devil himself. I am pure evil trapped in a man who just wants you to believe that I'm just a nice guy. It fucking breaks my heart. I am a nice guy. Yes, I've got a bad temper. Yes, those things are true. I'm a fucking human being. Look at the stories of how I was raised. These motherfuckers have never helped me. Only thing they've done is cultivated my frustrations and angers. Think about it. I got clean and sober, and they couldn't handle that, and they started a campaign against me. My mother and my father and my sister. Because I was out of their control, which is ridiculous. I was more involved in the family than I'd ever been, because I just stayed away from them. Went off and did my drugs, stayed off in Florida and Alabama, and just stayed away from them. Try to have a relationship with my Aunt Tony and my Uncle Arnold and Scott and Sherry and them. But, I'm never really comfortable around family too long because they hurt me. Jesus Christ. I mean, they really, really hurt me. Physically, psychologically, they don't want me to grow. Even now at 50 years old or however old I am. It's unbelievable. But what is very, very disheartening for me and scary for me is how it's being used against the American people. I don't think any of these people that have been involved are dumb. I do not think that. What I know is that the power of influence from those in authority is a very strong responsibility that they have, and they are abusing it everywhere. We're having it abused against us through the news. We hear this stuff about Twitter and what's going on there, and how it might have messed with the last election. This is not jokes. This is not like made up shit. That's real stuff. That is real stuff. They were using hysteria to stop the flow of real news. Now it seems like there's a hysterical story about that, but it's not hysterical at all. Those are the facts. The facts are that's what they did. There's no hysteria behind that. That's just facts. So please listen to me. Why are they trying to get you to prove something so that they can get at me? Why are they not just defaming me, basically turning me into a character that I'm not even close to? Yes, I'm playing along with these people because I have to get the information. I have to prolong the situation and get as much background as possible to show just how intrusive these programs are, just how dangerous these programs are to your children. Do you not understand that there are other people stuck in this program too? I'm not talking about people like me, people like the ones that are working, you know, like Jody and Mike Graff, these people, Daryl Rockwell and Margaret Rockwell. There are other people just like them that may be working on them too. This is a very, very dangerous and complex, multi-layered situation where basically the best thing to say, why are you asking me to do this? What is your intention? And then start to remember some basic things like, wait a second, if somebody's innocent until proven guilty, well, don't you have evidence? Well, what is your actual evidence? If your evidence is rumors and innuendos and psychobabble, trust me, I'm not trying to give you psychobabble. I want you to read Stanley Milgram's Obedience to Authority to understand how easy it is for a person in uniform or a person with authority to get you to do things you would never think you would do. It's unbelievable how easy it is. Simply because they have a badge or because they're wearing a uniform. That's it. In the Stanley Milgram experiments, it's simply because they're wearing a smock and carrying around a clipboard and a pen. A clipboard and a pen and a white smock. That's it. That's it. That's all it took to get people to almost kill. You gotta read the book, the research. So what I'm trying to say here is there have been some things that I have left in Santa Cruz that I have a lot of responsibility for. Revealing this program is very important. Most importantly is taking care of how it is, who it is that actually influenced the locals there to basically set my house on fire and try to kill me and my dog. That's what's important for me. Understand that when it comes to conspiracies, it's the conspiracy, the people that have thought up the conspiracy that hold the most responsibility. The person who pulls the trigger actually gets less time in almost all cases than the person who thought up the conspiracy, right? Charles Manson is a good example. He never actually killed anybody, but he drove his people to kill people. That's why he's the one who spent more time in jail, and I know some of them are still stuck in jail. They did kill people, but he was going to get more time than any of them. That's and I know that's an old case, but that's how conspiracies are supposed to work in the legal system. So let's think of logic here. If they had evidence against me that was so massive, the stuff that they're telling people to influence them to act against me, if it's so bad and so crazy, don't you think that they would just arrest me? Why would they put me in a house with other children if I was such a fucking bad man? Listen, you can read my request to Taylor of Hawaii, because that was apparently a scheme that they tried to use. So that was back in, well, that was probably 2012, not 2013. It was before I got a trace, so it was probably 2012 when that incident happened. But they were already creating these, my family, well, they had already started in 2007, right? But they were using, how was I supposed to know? How could I even presume anything like that? I'm nothing but a 6-year-old myself. You know, I suffer from arrested development, post-traumatic stress disorder, from a massive event from my father when I was 6 years old. Absolutely violent and crazy. But I'm just a 6-year-old at heart. I don't have any concern about, Jesus Christ, about having sex with children. Are you crazy? I don't have any concern about having sex with people my age, or, you know, I'm into older women too. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. You know, I'm a fucking human being, though, you motherfuckers. I am a human being, so... but I am not no fucking monster. But I am a human being. I do not mind being with somebody and letting them know if we're together. But I'm just a 6-year-old at heart. I don't have any problem with that. I don't have any problem with sharing that with you guys. That doesn't mean... I mean, if anybody... Do you think at 6 years old I was trying to run around nailing? What the hell's wrong with you people? Now, don't get me wrong. When I hit puberty, it was all a different story. I was a big boy. I was hairy. I got a lot of testosterone. But at the same time, any idea that I would push myself on anyone is disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Just wrong. As a matter of fact, if you talk to a lot of my ex-girlfriends, most of them are alphas, if anything. I like to play the passive side. I like an aggressive woman. That is what I actually like. That's what I like. I like a woman who says, I want you now. And I'm like, well, okay, let me get ready for you. Sounds so weak and insecure or whatever, but that's the fucking truth. And if you actually talk to my ex-girlfriends, which I know they've all been influenced by now, but if you say to them, how is it that you guys been? You're going to find that I am passive in most cases. And not passive in a way to be sneaky about anything. I just like an alpha woman, an aggressive woman. That's what I like. And so make sure that you put that into, if you're being asked to be part of this, make sure to put that into your lexicon, into your, how would you call it? Your logarithm of, what's an easier way? Your equation. That has to be part of the equation. When you think up all these different things they're telling you, make sure to put in there, oh, that's right. Make sure not to just get it from me. Get the information, the background information to show what it is I'm saying. Don't just go by my word. Don't go by these authorities' words. My word is involved. If you're going to take their word, you have to take my word too. And that's the thing they're telling these people. Don't tell him anything. Don't ask him. Don't let him tell you anything. Blah, blah, blah. Well, one-sided gossip. Well, fuck, that's fucking illegal anyway. This is America. This witch hunt and this fishing expedition has fucking grossed me out. And sometimes I do get frustrated that people have believed in it and everything else. But I know. There was a time in my life where if you would have told me somebody was some kind of a fucking child predator, that I might have kicked that motherfucker down the stairs too. There is a time in my life where I would have been just as apt to join with these authority figures and act against somebody. So I know that I could be just as guilty of doing this. Luckily, I went to college, and luckily I learned some stuff. And I'm trying to impart some of that stuff with you. Learn Stanley Milgram. Understand what they mean when they say a witch hunt. When they say this is a witch hunt, they're talking about the Salem witch trials. That's a witch hunt. That's a reference to one of our earliest hysterical moments in our country that killed people and destroyed people, all because it was accidental poisoning. There was no real witchcraft. There was nothing bad going on except for an accidental poisoning throughout most of the colonies. Mostly, of course, in Salem, in that area. Thank you so much for listening. Please understand that you're people that are part of this. You are part of a fishing expedition, a witch hunt. You are being asked to make up evidence, not to prove anything. I've told many of you that I'm an absolutely honest guy. You can come and talk to me, but we wouldn't be able to talk around any of our devices nor at any of our usual places because I can't give, I guess, my nemesis, although I've always had respect for law enforcement, and but at this time I cannot give them any more leeway to go any other direction other than to for them to face the truth. Actually, I'm gonna leave it at that. I know it's been a long dissertation, but this is important stuff.